Let's get into it. Let's talk about why marriage benefits men more than women.
For most women, there is no benefit to marriage.
Who is marriage good for? Who's it serving more, men or women?
Now, men.
We love to say that women always want to get married, but it's actually the men who need marriage more.
Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Rachel Daniels here. So welcome to another interesting discussion. Today we'll be looking at a very important topic that actually centers around marriage. So we'll be looking at who benefits most in marriage relationship or marriage contract. I've put together a lot of videos that we could watch and then deliberate at the end of the video. So I would leave you to watch. Once we are done at the end of the video, I'll come and give my own opinion. So see you at the end of the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about why marriage benefits men more than women. I would also encourage you to go look this up because I'm just going to focus on one factor, but there's actually a lot. On average, married men make 10 to 24% more than unmarried men. Why do we suppose that is? Because they have their wife at home doing all of the unpaid emotional and domestic labor, which allows them to focus, work harder, and work longer. Now, let's assume that the wife also has a career, because that's how most households are nowadays. So you have both the husband and the wife working outside the home, but only one of them is doing the vast majority of the domestic labor. And it ain't the husband. So the wife is working all day and then coming home and working more. What does this lead to? Depression? Anxiety? Stress? That's a significant amount of pressure. And what's the result of all of this? The result is the ultimate benefit. Married men live longer than single men, but married women do not live longer than single women.
For most women, there is no benefit to marriage, okay? Even statistics show this. Married women die sooner. They have more health issues. For most women, it's going to be a lose-lose situation when you decide that you are going to get married. If you are trying to get married, the only way marriage makes sense is if you are logistical. Most women are not logistical. Most women just want love. That's all they care about. You must be logistical if you're going to get married. You need to write up a prenup. I cannot believe that there are women that get upset about a man asking them for a prenup when you also can write up a prenup. Put a cheating clause in there. Men are guaranteed to cheat. You might as well have some monetary reimbursement for them cheating. So put a cheating clause in there. And as long as you have proof of him cheating, you are granted X amount of money in the prenuptial agreement. He needs to be a man that actually has something, right? He can give you land, a rental property, a home, something monetary so that dealing with him makes sense to you. But marriage for love should never be on the table. It should never be a reason why you would ever want to get married, because that's not real. So yeah, marry rich, protect yourself, and get some form of reimbursement for a man being.
I got married 6 months ago, and you want to know what is pissing me the fuck off is how often now I am genuinely treated as secondary to my husband. And I'm tired of acting like it's not a big deal and it doesn't matter and it doesn't affect you. It's literally with everything. We go get a mortgage. He's listed as the primary mortgage holder. I'm listed as the secondary. We get our taxes done. I just got the forms back. This is why I'm crashing out. He's listed as taxpayer. I'm listed as spouse. Even though I'm the one that reached out to the CPA, set up the appointment, has been giving him the documents, has been the one corresponding with him. He's barely talked to my husband. My husband still gets the taxpayer designation and I get the spouse designation. And the shit matters. The shit matters for how it makes you feel and how we see women and how we treat women. And can you imagine if we made men live this way? Like literally, can you imagine how they would react if they opened their mailbox every day and got letters that said, hello, Mr. Wife's first name, wife's last name? Don't even get me started with the name stuff. I didn't change my last name. There are people in my personal life and just like random strangers that I interact with that refuse to acknowledge that still insist on calling me Allie, husband's last name, or Allie, my last name, husband's last name. They just straight up refuse. And I'm going to start being mean about it. Like, because why not? Like, or not even being mean about it, just being like, why am I Why am I the secondary person? You've only been talking to me. Because it's everyone. It's contractors. If I'm the one who reaches out to a contractor, I'm the one who sets up time. I'm the one who's been emailing him. He comes into our home to give the estimate with me. We get the estimate back. We get the invoice. It still has my husband's name on the top. Like, it's actually shocking to me how often this keeps happening in the 6 months that I've been married. And it fucks with your psyche, and I'm going to start being mean about it, because imagine if we made men.
I made a post about how women don't benefit from marriage and the incels went crazy. In this video, we're going to go through all the reasons. But let's start here. The consensus from most men in the comments were that women do benefit from marriage through divorce. So they seem to be in agreement that the best part of marriage for women is leaving. If that were true, which it's not, I think that would make my point. Let's go through finances, child custody, and health. Is marriage worth it for women? The benefits mostly go to men. Currently, over 50% of households have a dual income. I read this as women are taking half of their own stuff. In those households, despite a dual income, women are still doing the lion's share of domestic labor and emotional labor. In a divorce, women's income drops on average by 20%. Divorced men see an average of 30% increase in their income. Post-divorce, 20% of women find themselves in poverty compared to 11% of men. Let's talk alimony. Alimony has been gender neutral since 1979. It's the breadwinner who pays. In the 1960s, 25% of men were paying alimony post-divorce. Today, that number is 10%. And I know the math is right here, but I'm going to say it anyway. 90% of marriages end with no alimony whatsoever. 90 to 95% of the time that alimony is paid, it was settled out of court, meaning a judge didn't weigh in and didn't order it. In the cases where a judge orders it, there's a large discrepancy between the spouse's income and assets. Short marriages are less likely to get any alimony. Judges are looking at if one spouse sacrificed their career or potential earnings. And so if they didn't, alimony wouldn't be awarded. Now let's talk child custody. Studies show that when fathers ask for custody, they get it. Conversely, as fathers tend not to ask for custody, they don't get it. Most custody cases are settled out of court. For absolute clarity, most fathers are giving custody to the mothers, not losing custody. Do you see the difference? Now we're going to talk about health, and that will lead me into my last point. Why do women even want to get married if it doesn't benefit them? You know when married women nag their partners? You really going to have that third beer? Babe, I think you need to go get that mole looked at with the doctor. Men seem to hate that, and yet it is the direct reason why married men live longer lives and healthier lives than unmarried men. I've read that men resist marriage because they know that it requires a substantial behavior change on their part. They associate marriage with increased responsibilities and potential financial loss. And yet, those things aren't true. Our culture sets expectations high for women and low for men. Getting married has historically brought a large change in how men see themselves and how they behave. If marriage has been a particularly strong signal of change in men's committed behavior, it would explain the stereotype of women pushing for marriage. And
Who is marriage good for? Who's it serving more, men or women?
Now, men.
Because I was thinking, if we pressed a button and the marriage stats went backwards in time, i.e. more people got married and they gave birth within marriages, would that be better for men or women?
It'd be better for men.
Why?
Because being with the kids and kind of with the mum is just right now still an incredibly important way for men to feel needed, connected, involved, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that might change, but right now it is pretty clear that they'll do better. And like if you look at the impact of being married and not married on employment, earnings, health, physical and mental health, life expectancy, huge positive impacts for men, much less so for women. And of course, if you go back, if we went the other way, like you'd say, well, actually women who weren't married were in real trouble economically until recently, right? Women used to be economically dependent on men, but men were emotionally dependent on women. And I think we've really done a lot on the first half of that, and it's kind of revealing the second part, the kind of the fact that actually wifeless men, partnerless men, childless men, they don't do so well. In fact, they do terribly.
We love to say that women always want to get married, but it's actually the men who need marriage more. A married man earns more, saves more, and has access to a second income, his wife's. An unmarried man might invest his money in a hot car, but a married man will make wiser investments, like buying a house. A woman gives up more of her professional growth and her leisure time once she's married, because she will spend more time than her husband for unpaid housework. Men do less well when they're alone and they have to take care of themselves, and that's why the stability a marriage offers him makes him have a healthier life. He doesn't need to waste time by running after women, but he can fully focus on his own growth and...
In my own opinion, right, I feel the men benefit most in marriage relationship or marriage contract. First, or why do I say so? First, the woman is the one that has to sacrifice her career, sacrifice her life just to make sure that the home is in order, make sure that the kids are well taken care of. And if the man is sick, it's still the woman that would have to nurse him like a baby, because we women, we are always groomed, or we've been groomed right from childhood, that as a woman, you are the home taker, you are the home this, you have to be the one making sure that everything works at home. Secondly, I'm dropping my father's name to bear your name, so everything about my existence is more centered around you. Thirdly, if the man cheats, it's expected that the woman forgives. It's actually a taboo for you to see women cheating, because if women get to cheat, the whole world will hear, everybody would criticize, oh, why is she cheating? She's married, why would she cheat? But once the man cheat, they'll tell you, oh, men are polygamous in nature, and it's a normal thing for them to cheat. What about providing for the family? Gone are the days when it has to be the man providing for the family. These days, what we see is families doing 50-50. So in addition to the fact that I have to take care of the home, it means I have to work. It means I have to provide. I have to provide my own quota to make sure that the family is going smoothly well. I don't know if the truth is, if marriage really favors women, the men would definitely not want to go for it. And if it really favors women, why is it that when there's separation or when there's divorce, the man rush to get married? Why is he getting married again? But if or when there's death of the wife, the man would rush, and after some years he would get married. But if it was a woman, I bet you she would stay and say, no, what I want to concentrate on is train my children. So if marriage does not really benefit them, why are they in a hurry to get married? Why are they in a hurry to settle for another woman? Ladies, I want you to think about this. What about childbearing? So I carried the pregnancy for 9 months. I lay on the delivery table. I put my life on line to give birth to the child. What happens when the child comes out? He bears his son name. He bears his son name. My own son name, my father's name goes out of existence, or goes out of existence just because I got married. Now, what happens when there's separation, or when there's divorce, or when, let's say, when there's divorce, that both partners have to go their way? Sad to say, in future, no matter how you train that child, in future the child will definitely ask of his father. The child would always want to reconcile with the child. Why? Because the child doesn't want to be seen as someone without a father. So who benefit most? Now these days, when divorce proceedings are even done, I've seen a case whereby the man even gets more of the woman's property, depending on how the case go. Because I know someone will come and argue with me that when there is divorce, the woman gets more of his property. These days it's not like that. I've seen situation whereby the man gets half of the woman's property from the divorce. So what are we saying? Anyways, this is my own opinion. This is my thoughts on this video. Feel free to drop your comments, your opinion in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share and like as well. Till I come your way next time. Bye for now.